Welcome to another InWheelTime podcast.
And welcome to the InWheelTime Car Talk Show, coming to you live today from Gulf Coast Auto Shield's Car Social.
You sure not in Alaska?
The man behind the shield, John Gray, joins us. Later, Jeff has a timely story on engine block heaters. Mars reviews the new GMC Sierra Denali. That and more just ahead on the 2-hour edition of the InWheelTime Car Talk Show. Howdy. Along with Mike out of this world, Mars, we always need more Jeff Zekin, who doesn't. Joining us today in a rare Saturday appearance, our chief engineer and bottle washer, David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. So glad you could join us on this Saturday. And before we get going, I did want to send my condolences to the family of Joe Sayer, who many Houstonians will recognize the name Colonel St. James, passed away yesterday. And I just found out this morning, and God rest him. He's a great guy and a good friend of mine. And I talked to him just a few weeks ago, and he seemed to be doing fine. And matter of fact, he posted on Facebook just a couple of days ago. So not exactly sure what happened. He wasn't in the greatest of health, but I will tell you that his sister Julie emailed me just yesterday and said, I talked to him, and I said, no, what's going on? And then I got a instant message from her late last night, early this morning, that, is that Corvette again? Oh my God, it's the yellow Corvette. Somebody go and kill that, would you? That's annoying.
I think they need to tow it out of here.
Yeah, tow it.
Get a hook.
There's no towing.
Just give me the keys, and I'll take it to Needle, and you won't be able to hear it from there.
Perfect.
So anyway, so I guess it was time. It was Joe saying, all right, move on. Joining us now in the InWheelTime Remote Broadcast Center here at Gulf Coast Auto Shield, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Gray.
Greetings, boys. How are y'all? Thanks for coming out today.
Yeah. Could you have picked a better, colder day for us to have the car social today?
I tell you what, it's crisp.
Hey, Chris.
Is that what you're calling this?
It's crisp, but it's it's a whole lot better than being hot.
Well,
for sure.
There's that. And the doors open, and you have
disagree.
a great turnout today. Congratulations. I'm sure that's your crack marketing department that has put the word out. I think every Porsche in town is here.
There's a couple.
A couple.
There's a couple.
Because in the back there, we didn't even
There
put
you
a
go.
camera out there, did we, Mars?
I don't think we did.
No, not outside.
Well, that's a shame, because Mr. Mars is going to have to go out there in the cold and give you a shot of all the cars that are here. We do have a lovely lineup here in the studio. This is the Gulf Coast Auto Shield Perfection Studio. I've renamed it for you.
We do need to rebrand. That's a good idea.
Yeah, Perfection Studio, because this is it.
I like it.
So in the studio, we have the Tesla Cybertruck. I see that you have several Porsches in here. You also have a Shelby Mustang, a tri-Corvette display here, including a black one that I think that we're all familiar with.
Yep. And that Shelby Mustang back there is that's quite rare. That's a wide body car.
Oh, it is?
It's a wide body Super Snake. So I don't know how many they made, but it wasn't very many.
Well,
What are you doing to it?
We're going to do paint protection film on it. We're doing paint protection film on the entire car, and that belongs to one of my clients, James Ludwig, and he loves that thing. It's he just got it, and that's one of those ones that has so much power with a live rear axle. It's hard to drive. Yeah. I mean, that thing.
Well, you would know about that because you've had your share of GTs.
I have, and those new ones are a lot more control than that one. That one's wild.
Well, you had one last time we were here. Do you still have that one?
I don't.
Was that the 350 or the 500?
That was a GT 500 Heritage car. That was a wonderful car.
I know you took me for. I think you took
Yep.
me. I left my brain back at the starting line.
In the first one, yes, we went for a ride in that first one, and it was. Those are great cars, man. I would recommend a
scary.
GT 350 or a 500 to anybody. Ford.
Yeah.
It was amazing what Ford put together. We do so much Porsche stuff, and we do a lot of work with Porsche Sugarland. Great guys, and they gave us opportunity to get hold of a 911, and so we took it. We
What did you do to it?
Well, I mean, we got that 911. It's a 911T, and it's a. Look,
I know you were kind of looking for words, the right words that you didn't want to dissolve. And
it's a good car.
Yeah.
That 911 it's a scalpel. It's not as fast, but man, what they get out of that 3-liter motor is just absolutely incredible.
Go-kart.
It really is. It really
so
is.
tell us what you're doing here today.
Well,
It's a social, so we're all kind of gathered up and
we don't-
talking to other audiophiles. I was going to say audiophiles.
Got a lot of. Well, there are some audio files in here, but this is our annual get together, and we kind of call it a car social rather than a car show, because to me it's more about the people and everybody getting a chance to get together and talk and introduce themselves to one another. And we have such a wonderful client base and have built, such incredible relationships. And I'm seeing people here that I hadn't seen, and we may have delivered their car a year ago, and here they come.
Well, Steve Kingsley's not here, is he?
I hope Steve's still alive.
Really? He wasn't doing well?
No, I just hadn't talked to him or heard from him in so long.
Yeah. Well, I think he moved to Austin, didn't he?
Florida is the last destination.
Well, that's where he
I
was
heard
from
Steve.
originally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Steve used to own a company called Custom Car Stereo.
Yep.
And that through Steve is where I met John.
Yeah, and that was a great opportunity because the clients they had coming in were, they were.
They're your clients now.
A lot of them are,
Yes.
actually,
Yeah.
and have held on to them since 2015, 2016. So, yeah, that was a great start for us.
Yeah.
Coming out of our garage into that location. So, that was a
I'll
nice
never forget
start.
that phone call that I got from Steve, and he said, "Hey man, I got a guy down here that's doing really some nice stuff to paint. You need to come down here and check it out." And so I went down there, and that's when I met you.
Are y'all going? Not to change the subject. Are y'all going to be at the Automotive show, or is it
Yes.
the Boat of Auto show, whatever?
Automotive show,
All right, so are we.
Are you?
Yeah.
Good.
We're gonna be in the marine section.
Okay, good.
And come by. Make sure you come by and see us.
Well, it depends on where
Come
you're
see
at.
us. Come see us.
In the
Come
marine
see us and
section.
save.
We'll be in the marine
I
section.
don't know where we're going to be. Do we know yet?
Not yet. Not yet. It's kind of a toss-up. We're hoping to be back over by Jeep because Camp Jeep's coming back.
Right.
That's always a big
Huge
event.
draw, yes.
But last year we were in between, on the edge between the boats and the cars.
Right, over
So-
in the Nissan booth.
Yes.
Yes.
So-
Steve Parrott.
Yeah.
We'll be
Nissan.
over by one of the bars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But part of the time,
this,
anyway.
This setup will be out there, but we'll
Yeah.
be over by the bar.
Yeah,
You buying the drinks?
Yes, I will. As a
Okay.
matter of fact, I owe y'all. But come by our booth. We got some really cool marine stuff that we're doing. Marine paint protection film.
You told me that last time we were out here that you were going to get into that, and I'm going, really, the marine stuff? I hadn't even thought about that. But I'll tell you what, having been a former boat owner,
Yep.
I'll tell you what, and especially if you keep the boat in the water,
Yep.
it can get real ugly real fast.
It can.
Yeah, and it can damage the actual finish and the coats on the vessel that you have.
Of course it can. And it's tough to keep a boat and keep it nice. And this is stuff that we have that's really going to help people do that.
So I wanted to actually say to everybody, and I said it in the tease at the beginning of the show, that we're going to have Serene basically kind of take over the show beginning at the bottom of the hour here, and because she's your main gal when it comes to, well, conditioning surfaces. How's that?
I want to pre-apologize for anything that she says out of bounds,
Yeah.
because it could happen. It just happens.
Well, you know what? This is not controlled by the FCC.
Yep.
And so we don't actually encourage that kind of talk. But she has already said to us, listen, I can easily step out of bounds. And I am well aware of that.
What's the delay? Do we have a delay?
We don't have a delay.
Okay.
So it's live.
Well-
And hey, listen, we've always been living on the edge. And she's listening to every word that we're saying because I saw that smirk on her face as she walked by.
And David
There she goes.
Every time something like that happens, David will just go beep. He'll beep it out.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Why doesn't she have your
She
got
actually has a
something on.
microphone on.
Okay.
Okay.
We got her wired up.
Yeah, we got her wired up.
He's wired for sound.
Yeah.
Dude, y'all are-
but she's not currently turned on, so to
just
speak.
needs to remember to turn it off in the
Easy,
ladies'
Don.
room.
Yeah.
Easy.
Turn it off in the ladies' room.
Easy, Don.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to go through several steps, and she and I talked about it briefly yesterday, how we're going to go about this. And she's got a plan in place, and we're going to do it all on the Corvette. So it's we don't have to worry about some $1 million car that you've got in here. It'll be my old rag, the '01 Corvette.
How about that Lamborghini over there, though?
That's a nice red Lamborghini.
175 miles on that car.
No, 175 miles. What year is that thing?
89.
An 89.
So it's $1 a mile.
And Mark, my buddy Mark that bought it, has put 50 of them on it in the last month after he got it.
And 40 of them getting here this morning.
Probably so.
Yeah.
And nervous the whole way.
I'm sure. I saw him. He was the one that backed it in there.
Hanging outside.
Hanging
outside.
That's the only way you can back them up.
Yeah, you can't see
You
anything.
can't see behind you. You got to get out of the car.
Yeah.
So,
well, we're excited with all the people that have showed up here today. Great cars, great lineup. And for those here in the Houston area, we have actually promoted this event for several weeks now. It got postponed once because of the weather. Mm-hmm. And we were kind of bumping up against the weather again today, but then all of a sudden cleared up. It's a beautiful
You
morning.
say so.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Detroit here is freezing to death.
Yeah.
come on.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
I lived in Michigan. I lived in Detroit area 22 years, came down here. I still haven't thawed out.
That's it.
Well, before we go, thank you guys for coming. I can't. Y'all are like family, and I can't thank you enough
you're welcome.
for the relationship that we've built with y'all.
Yeah, I know.
And
we agree.
I appreciate y'all
Well,
very
we
much.
appreciate you and everything that you do here. This is a first-class operation, and I don't think anybody that would drop by and see the wonderful cars that you've got in here, meet with anybody here, I think that everybody all would agree that we're here to support you. It's a kind of a big car club,
It is.
It is.
The folks that aren't here and they're listening and watching, how do they get a hold of you? And a phone number, email, website?
Yeah, GC Auto. Matter of fact, we launched a new website last night.
No.
Yeah, we did. GCAutoshow.com. It'll look different if you've been on the old one, and it'll have some of our marine services on it in addition to some of the older stuff that we've been doing. And
What do you do with the boats?
You go to the boat?
if it's trailerable, we can bring them in.
Okay.
And otherwise, we will. The last one that we did was a 62-foot Viking.
I guess it's trailerable, but not.
Not. Oh, that's not trailerable.
Not trailerable.
You got to use.
Well, 18-wheeler.
You got to crane it out of the
Crane
water.
it. That's right.
So, you look. I don't have enough money to know that when you're out 200 miles bill fishing, those fish will come out of the water and they'll scratch the side of your boat with the bill.
Man, dang those fish.
Well,
have no
I wouldn't
idea.
know anything about that
I wouldn't either.
because I'm not offshore, and
I'm
nor
not
will
either.
I ever again.
So David's got a dinghy. Would you be able to work on David's dinghy?
Of course.
Don't get personal.
Not that dinghy.
Oh.
So the question is, what is it that you would like? You wanted to get this guy on the air, and we want to talk to him. Is he available?
Is he around?
Where's Merwin? There he is right there.
There he is.
Merwin. Joshua. You're on, buddy.
Yeah. So why don't you introduce him and tell us what he's got going on here?
Josh Merwin. He is made a series of inspirational books, and it is a charity that he's put together, and he's really got some cool things going on here. And with that, I'm going to let him take it away.
Okay, all right. Because he's got it's a beautiful Porsche that's in here, and it's white and it's all decorated up and kind of, I guess, promoting whatever it is that you're promoting. So, and what is your first name again?
Josh.
Josh. So tell us, Josh. It's good to have you on the show. What do you got going on?
Yes, I've got a
Pull that microphone nice and close to your mouth.
We've got
There
a
you go.
philanthropic publishing company. It's called Dream Big Books. We create animated films and books. Started on athletes. Actually, our first athlete is right over there, Michael Montgomery.
Okay.
He played football at Texas A&M, collapsed on the practice field with a heart defect. Didn't know he had. Doctor saved his life, said, "You're never going to play again." He goes, "Yes, I am." He ended up playing 2 years at A&M and 5 years in the NFL with the Green Bay Packers.
Really?
Yep.
The
Say hi, Mike.
Packers. I'm a Wisconsin boy. Yeah, brother. So tell us, continue on.
Yeah, so every story we do has kind of three main topics. The first one is what athletes or historical figures were into as kids, because a lot of the books are made starting for elementary school students. And so it allows the younger kids to identify with the athlete or the subject as kids. And then they kind of follow in the athlete's footsteps as the journey goes along with the story. So we talk about whatever obstacle they've overcome in life, usually off the field, and teach kids how to overcome obstacles and tell them that life's not always easy.
Now, what inspired you to get into this?
My background's photography and film.
Okay.
So I used to shoot for ESPN Magazine and Sports Illustrated right out of college, which was a lot of fun. Did a documentary film and just storytelling in general. Launched a sports film festival. Unfortunately, it was right before COVID, so it was a little difficult because nobody wants to go into theaters anymore.
Exactly.
But I had the idea to do kids' books on athletes. And met Michael at the Super Bowl in LA a few years ago, and met a guy who had a daughter that was 14 years old, self-taught artist, and so she did the art for the first book. And what we do is we record as the artist draws, so the film comes to life before your eyes. So for kids, especially now, to keep their attention, you need something special. And so as it comes to life before their eyes, we now write the words on the screen, and as the words are read on the screen, the subject says the words in their own voice. So it really fills gaps in education, reading literacy, art, creativity, and then inspiring kids to chase their own dreams.
Very nice. Is this your car?
That one's my mom's.
Your mom's car?
Yeah, I got my mom's car.
Dang.
We've got a Macan. But we got that. We wrap a car with John at Gulf Coast has been amazing, and so he helps us wrap a car for
I was going to say, how did you
release.
get together with John?
We did. We released the previous version of this book on Donovan Carter, who's a football player at UCLA, January of last year, around the College Football Championship at Porsche Sugarland. So Bram Ziegers, the GM there, is amazing. And
so it's that
we
connection.
did the first event, and
Yeah.
I happened to be having a meeting with Bram at the same time. John was coming in to introduce himself, and we were talking about wrapping a car, and John walks in, and we're like, you're the guy.
Yeah.
So it's been a great relationship since then, and ideally looking to get a Dream Big 911 that we can drive around to coffee and cars and events at kids at schools.
Sure.
That we can do a full wrap on all year. And the cars we wrap, kids can color on it with dry erase markers, so it's a little.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, a little more exciting.
You know, we've got somebody I think that you would probably enjoy meeting, and that's the guys with the Hot Rod Tour of Texas, which is coming up in April that I've been involved with for, I guess this will be the fourth one.
Yeah.
And it's good. Comes out of Victoria, and we take a road trip for 3 days, and it's in Texas, and it's tons of fun. 300 cars.
Love it.
Lots of people, yeah, and you'd fit right in.
Yeah.
I'd appreciate the connection.
Yeah,
Everything
absolutely.
from 32 T-buckets to what you've got.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, no limits as to the age of the vehicle, what kind of none of that. Everybody, you sign up, you come along, and it's a good deal. We need to connect you with them.
You and 299 of your best friends.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
I mean, the cool thing about Porsche is, obviously it's a high-end luxury brand, but it is somewhat attainable by people. But everybody who owns a Porsche or loves a Porsche has some sort of Porsche story. And I think that's the most interesting part of the brand and events like this, right? Social events around cars and coffee.
Yeah. And my story is I don't have one.
Yeah.
So.
That's it. Well, it's great to meet you. Great
You
to
too.
talk to you. Thanks for stopping by. Let's stay in touch. We've got business cards so you can get in touch with us. Well, anybody could get in touch with us. info@InWheelTime.com.
And
or
our,
Don at InWheelTime.com.
And our website is dreambigbooks.org.
Very good.
So you go check us out, make a donation, and we'll do a custom animation of your car, too.
Sounds good. Josh, great to talk to you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
We appreciate you. Hey, the InWheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 on the InWheel Time and Odyssey radio apps. Just search InWheel Time Car Talk. And podcasts are available from your favorite podcast provider, including now SiriusXM. Did you know they have a podcast channel? And we also video stream our weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com, 10 to noon every Saturday. The InWheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this break.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flameado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous loopy beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Loopy Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Loopy Tortilla, he's pretty good. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
Welcome back to the InWheelTime Car Talk Show. If you'd like to get in touch with us anytime, shoot us an email. The address here is info@InWheelTime.com. You know, it couldn't have been a more perfect subject for this kind of day. It's beautiful.
what I do.
The sun is shining out here, but it is cold, brother.
And being the international correspondent for InWheelTime.
The international correspondent.
Figured we get something going for this. Applies to all over the world.
Yeah, you're hot, man.
Oh, yeah.
And you're
You
hot.
ready?
You're hot.
Okay, well, here we go, Michael. It's all you. Humans use hot chocolate, coffee, tea, whiskey, chicken noodle soup. I got a friend of mine with a blow-up doll named Larry in his
Did you
trunk.
bring any whiskey today?
No. What is an engine block heater? What does an engine block do? Types of engine blocks. An engine block heater is an electrical device designed to warm a part of the engine and or motor oil of the vehicle you're in. There are numerous types of engine block heaters. There are various methods to provide that heat to that engine. The purpose of an engine block heater is to heat the engine. By using the engine block heater in a cold climate, your car will start easier and use less energy. The engine block will receive its normal running temperature sooner than later. Okay, so we're going to get into the first one, and it's going to be a core frost freeze plug heater. This type of heater replaces an existing core plug, also commonly referred to as a freeze plug.
That looks like
or
one of those
frozen
things that you
plug.
put in the iced teacup.
Yeah, it could be the same principle. It directly heats the coolant with the engine using an element that sits in the coolant, and you can use your car's service manual to find the correct location for that plug. Next one we have is an engine warming blanket placed on top of the engine or attached to the underside of the hood.
I used that last night in
I know
bed.
you did. An engine warming blanket disperses the heat across the entire engine block. The next one we have, and this one's very popular, is an oil pan heater. This is more of a diaper-type situation.
Yeah.
Heater is essentially an
I'm getting closer and closer to that every day.
automotive-grade heating pad, Don, placed on the underside of an oil pan in different parts of the engine, typically attached with magnets or bolts, much like you do, to warm the pads and the oil and keep the oil inside nice and toasty. The next one we have is an actual dipstick heater. Now, my urologist has one of these. The heater replaces the dipstick with a long heating element that warms up the oil. That's what you guys are calling it now. Next one we have is an inline heater. It's circulating. Now, there's two types. There's a circulating and a non-circulating. With this device is actually both of them because it's the way you hook it up to the engine itself. An inline heater requires some work as they are spliced into the coolant hose. Circulating models use the existing pump to spread the heat and coolant through the system. On a non-circulating, it just splices into the coolant, and it only heats that area that is spliced into.
No, you got to have one of those.
You got to have one. The next one we have is a bolt-on external heater. A bolt-on external heater is attached
that would be the colonoscopy
directly
part,
to the engine block, Don, and it heats it from the outside in. So it's outside in.
Yeah, we know about
There you
outside
go.
in.
Do you need an engine block heater? Generally, if you live in a climate where you're regularly temperatures below 10 degrees Fahrenheit, it's not a bad idea to have one. If you live in those temperatures that are rarely doing that, probably not. When should I plug in an engine block heater? About 3 to 4 hours before you actually want to use the vehicle. Use a timer to set it up. You know, like you have a light timer in your home. Use the same thing for the timer there. Do modern cars still need to be warmed up? If you're trying to warm up the inside of your vehicle, yes. If you've got a fuel-injected car, the vehicle, you're trying to protect your engine, not necessarily going to work. It's because of the way that modern cars are designed. So as for engine block heaters, they're a good idea if you're in that type of climate. But one warning I have, unplug it before you drive.
I stretched that a little bit too
Martha?
tight.
Yeah, a little bit longer.
Martha.
cord.
Martha.
Yeah.
Poor Martha.
Martha, where are the garden lanterns? All right. Time now for this hour's car review. And I believe that Mr. Mars, at least he said he was going to review the GMC Sierra.
Well, that's because he's going to do the GMC Sierra.
Do you have the page pulled up there?
Yes, sir. The 2025 GMC Sierra Denali Ultimate HD.
Don't yell at me.
Well, I was just trying to make sure that Don could hear over there. You know.
What?
So it is the Sierra. It's the base thing. It comes in. Actually, there's 7 different trim levels, but when you get into the Denali, there's actually only 2 trim levels. And we had the Denali Ultimate, which is the top of the line for that particular brand of vehicle. Now, this is a full-size pickup truck. It's 5 passengers, 5 nicely roomed passengers. Got plenty of room. And on the outside of it, up front, you're going to find you got LED lighting with automated projection headlamps. You got fog lights, tail lights. Got the grill logo actually lights up. And there's lighting in the cargo area, and it's all LED. It works really, really well. There is also a set of power assist steps, so when you come up to the truck and you get ready to step up in it, because it is an HD and you're going to have to step up, they come out, they're really quick, they're there when you want them.
Do they automatically drop, or you have to do it when the door opens?
No, they'll start dropping before you get the door open.
Cool.
Yeah, and they're quick. Now, we also had the trailer package, so we had some other things like the 5th wheel setup inside the bed. We had the power folding, heated, extending tow mirrors. Did you ever notice these guys that got these tow mirrors?
Yeah.
And sometimes they're extended when they're not towing. That's so they can see further back. It makes a difference, I found out. This particular vehicle, interestingly enough, has a set of 3,500 leaf springs underneath it with a 12-inch shock package and 342 gears, so it's really set up to do some towing. Now, like I said, the LED cargo area's got the cargo area has LED lighting in it as well. There's a power sliding rear view window. And it has the 6-way Pro tailgate, Pro adjustable tailgate. It's got the speakers in it and everything. And it looks really cool.
That one that you showed had lighting in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's got that too. It's got speakers and there's a lot of stuff in there. So you get to the inside of it. Of course, it's Denali. You're going to find you got leather seating. The front seats are heated and ventilated. The rear outboard seats are also heated, and that is a 60/40 folding rear seat. Got some storage that's built in underneath that. Up front, the driver has a 12.3-inch driver screen that's adjustable to figure out what you want to see on there as far as the vehicle goes.
Yeah.
13.4-inch touchscreen that's got your infotainment, your convenience controls, your surround view camera system in it. You also have a camera that you can look at the cargo bed to see what's back there. There's a lot of USB outlets, but they're all USB-Cs. Got a wireless phone charger, and the bed view camera I mentioned. There is a Bose Premium 12-speaker audio system with a subwoofer in it, and it gets really nice sounding.
Subwoofers are good.
So up under the hood of this particular vehicle, we had 6.6-liter V8 turbo diesel, 470 horsepower, 975 pound-feet of torque. Like I said, this thing is set up to tow. Allison transmission, 10-speed. Tow rating, properly equipped, 20,000 pounds. Haul rating, 3,048 pounds.
Wow.
Now, the curb weight on this vehicle, I've noticed it was 8,264 pounds, and it carries a 36-gallon fuel tank. Because
Wow, that's big.
now the EPA does not give you a rating on this vehicle because they don't rate them, but I got 13.6 miles across 434 miles. So
Cool.
that 36-gallon tank gets put to use. It is a big truck. It's a big truck. It drives big. It rides big. One thing I've noticed about it that if you look down the side of it, the belt line, the hood is actually taller. So you actually, I feel like I sit down a little bit lower, and I keep trying to get up to look over the hood because the hood is taller than the rest of the truck. Now, there's plenty of room up in there, and if you're looking for something to compare this to, you're going to be looking at the Ram 2500, the Ford F-250, and the Chevrolet Heavy Duty. Now, a base vehicle, the base GMC Sierra, is $47,300, and that's a four-door double cab. Now, the base trim price, when you get up into the Denali,
Sure.
$92,800. Now,
Price
MSRP,
as tested.
$96,830.
Hubba.
But now you go look at that Ram, and it starts at $42,270. It'll get up to $89. The F-250, $47, gets up to $100K easy in the Platinum. The Chevrolet Heavy Duty at $45 gets up to $71 real quick.
If I'm going to spend that kind of money, I want it all, baby.
Well, I think the Denali is going to just about give you all of it as far as capacity, room. I mean,
Is that the diesel?
Yes, it's the big diesel, and it'll. I could see putting a fifth wheel behind that thing, and it's all there. I mean, it's all the mount's there. All you got to do is back it up and hook it up.
Yeehaw. Get ready for the rodeo, friends.
That's my review of the
Perfect.
2025 GMC Sierra Denali Ultimate Heavy Duty.
You can buy 2 Buicks for that.
Today's In-Wheel-Time Car Talk Show is sponsored by Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex, Gulf Coast Auto Shield, and Pro-Am Auto Accessories. The In-Wheel-Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
The Tex Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755.
From the open roads to the open waters, your adventure starts at the Houston Automotive Show at NRG Center. 1 ticket, 2 shows. Check out top cars, trucks, sport boats, fishing boats, and more. New designs, new technology, and everything in between. Spectacular experiences, amazing fun. There's something for everyone. Get your friends, get your family, and get your tickets now. The Houston Automotive Show, making waves and fueling adventures.
That's it for this podcast episode of the In-Wheel-Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.